welcome back to the Daily AMG. Today is Tag Tuesday, so I'm bringing another tag to you. And this is going to be the Goodreads tag because I love Goodreads. It's probably one of my most used apps aside from Instagram, but they're probably pretty close in usage levels. Let's just be real. I can spend a really good amount of time scouring Goodreads. So let's get into the tag. So question number 1, the last book that you marked as read. So I have my handy dandy phone. Now I'm going to bring up my app. And the very last book, y'all can't even read that. Sorry, I tried to be all fancy. Fancy never works for me. Okay, so the last book that I read was on the 13th, so last week. I haven't read anything this week really at all. That was like early last week. Okay, anyways, was The Dollhouse by Fiona Davis. And this was a historical fiction based on this house that in the 50s and 60s housed, all the way up until like the 70s, that housed women who were in New York City to work. So you had like models on one floor that were there to do, editorial and runway and whatever. And then you have like girls who came to New York City to learn how to be secretaries on another floor. And so basically it's all about the dollhouse, and a maid gets murdered, rumor has it. And so you go back and forth between that time and current day, because the journalist is doing a story on the dollhouse because she finds herself taking refuge at the dollhouse in like a roundabout way, and it's really good. Sorry, I don't even think I was supposed to like give you a mini review of this, but so if you really like historical fiction, and if you like that, I think it's like early 50s that this takes place, and then it kind of goes into other things, and then it all wraps up at the end so beautifully. We love those kinds of historical fiction, right? Like, it's so good. I gave it 5 stars. So it's called The Dollhouse by Fiona Davis. Next question. What are you currently reading? Okay, so I'm currently reading 30 books. So my Goodreads says, yeah. So what I'm currently reading, according to this, An American Marriage, Furious Love, which is a book about Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton and their volatile, super about the love story. It's good. Jackie's Girl, which is about, this is also nonfiction, and it is about her personal assistant after John dies and after they're out of the White House. So that's fantastic. Yeah. So, and then, 27 more things apparently, but those 3 really are ones that I have like, okay. I have a lot of books going, kind of always. Okay. What was the last book that you added to your TBR on Goodreads? So the very last thing that I added on my want to read shelf is called Brazen: Rebel Ladies Who Rocked the World. So yeah, hello, that sounds fantastic. Okay, next question. What book do you plan on reading next? Well, I think I'll finish some of those 30 that I'm working on. Yeah, I'll probably finish the Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton one, because I'm probably the most, that one's the most completed, and so I don't have as much time, I don't have as much left on that one. I'm listening to it on, I don't remember. Anyway, well, I'll do a whole thing on all of the things that I have, like as far as audio and ebooks and blah, blah, blah. That can be a whole other thing. Okay. I have this like weirdly, I'm holding that weird. Do you use the star system? I do use the star system, and I go back and forth. Sometimes I'll go back and change my stars if like if I've given something a 3.5 or 4, which can I just say, I wish you could do whatever you want. Like I wish you could fill in that star. Like if I want to give something a 3.7, I wish that you could do that, but instead it's just whole stars. But anyway, so if in my mind I've given something like a 3.8, 3.5, and then I keep thinking about it and thinking about it, so I'll like bump it up to a 4, or vice versa. I may say like, I don't even remember half of that. Was it even as great as I thought it was? And I'll bump it down. Which is, nobody cares. It's only there for me, right? But whatever. It makes me feel better to know that, like, I like that better than I thought I did. I'm going to bump it up or whatever. I'm going to stop playing with this because it's probably really annoying. Sorry. So, I kind of base my star rating system, whatever, on, like, throughout the book, if there's like certain things that happen, I'll be like, well, that's a star. That was a star right there just for that sentence, for that like, whoa. Or I can get to like or if I get like halfway through a book and I'm like, this is like a 2-star right now. Like, I just am not feeling this. Depending upon how it ends is usually, that's the mindset that I'm working in when I rate a book. So I'll immediately go out to Goodreads as soon as I finish a book, and I'll rate it then based upon that feeling at that moment. I hope that makes sense. Okay, next question is, are you doing a 2018 reading challenge? I am, and I'll tell you what I'm at. Okay, so I said this year that I wanted to read 98 books. That's typically how I do, like the last few years I've done like 96 in 2016, 97 in 2017, 98 in 2018. I don't know why. That's how I've done it. And so this year I've read 40 of 98. So I'm at 41% of my... So I feel like after February especially, I feel like I can kind of like go back to like listening to some podcasts or some albums or whatever, like during the time that I would normally be reading. And I started, this has nothing to do with this that's the last question that I have for this. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I'm going to slow down my reading a little bit. But I started binging younger because Sutton Foster, yeah, yeah. I just wish I could can I be Sutton Foster and anything goes? Because that's what I just want to tap like that and and those outfits, it's fine. I know it'll never happen. So I didn't know that she was on a TV show, and then it came up on Hulu. It was recommended to me or whatever, and I was like, Hilary Duff. So I just kind of thought that it was what's called Younger and it has Hilary Duff in it. So I was like, probably not for me. And then I saw Flattened and I was like, hold up, what's this about? And then it was like, takes place in the literary world of New York City. And I was like, yeah, I will watch anything that takes place in publishing or whatever. Okay, well, I'm like a little bit into it, like 2 or 3 seasons. I don't think I have very much longer because I don't know if it has very much longer. And it's just not that great. First of all, I would definitely think that Sutton is younger than her actual age, which is a total compliment, right? But as much as I love the woman, I'm not believing for a second that she's 26 years old. Here's the thing. I'm 31, and if I told you I was 26, you would laugh in my face. So if I'm 41 and I tell you 26, you see how this isn't really a thing? It's just, I don't know. And she's so much taller than Hilary Duff that in some scenes I'm just like, this looks comical. Could you not have given Hilary a box? Like, give her the Tom Cruise box, okay? She's looking a little... Anyway. My favorite episode, though, was the one where Sutton found the historical fiction book in the slush pile, and then she gave it to her book club of her actual 40-year-old friends, and they all like wrote letters and started this huge campaign on Goodreads. Oh, see how I just totally made that totally relevant to what we're doing now? Yes. But anyway, so, and then it ends up being like a total ripoff. Like, it's just, I just laughed. I was just like, that is hilarious. I'm sure that probably happened. I don't even know. But anyways, that's what I've been watching. So yeah, so I've kind of scaled back my reading. So I'm at 41% of my yearly challenge. And that feels good. February really kicked me off this year. Like I said, I have those other books that I want to finish because I have them on, I'm trying to think. I think one of those is on Hoopla and it's already gone. So I'm going to have to get it back. And that's An American Marriage. But I want to say that The Furious Love is on Scribed. I'm just going to do a whole video, probably just right after this, on how I like to read and the different medias that I don't know, mediums? The different like apps and ways that I read. Is that even a video y'all would want to see? Oh well, it's probably coming to you because I've had a lot of coffee and it's like 10 o'clock. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I filmed this on Monday. Look at that productivity. Look at how you're going to get this video before 11:45 on Tuesday this time. Boom. Bye!